see Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons taking on Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin here to welcome you to another NFL season. Always an exciting time, CD. And I tell you what, new is the opportune word here for these two division rivals, Atlanta and New Orleans. A couple of faces who have helped define this rivalry behind center, they're now gone. This is going to be an interesting one to watch.
And let's face it, it's a rivalry that always will blaze white hot. But it's definitely different now. Drew Brees gone 1 year from the Saints. Matt Ryan gone the next year from the Falcons, although he's still playing in Indianapolis. This is two teams in flux a little bit, trying to find their footing, although New Orleans still remains confident they can get back to the Super Bowl. Atlanta building for the future.
Now here come the Saints about to begin their first possession, and the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
It was terrible to see Jameis Winston suffer his torn ACL last season because he had the Saints rolling in his first year running the show in New Orleans. They went 5-2 in his starts, and they were just 4-6 after he was injured. And how about this? He only threw 3 interceptions, really addressing the big concern people had from his time as a starter in Tampa. New Orleans, they plan to roll with him for a second season and hope that last year's performance will carry over in a full season.
11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action now, Winston. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
First and 10, it's Patterson. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, going back to Patterson. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. To throw is Mariota. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are on the board here first in the season opener. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
On 3rd down, Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Winston to Thomas, and it's a New Orleans 1st down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Winston to give, it's Kamara. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 22-yard line. Coming left is Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. Winston now. And the catch made by Johnson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
2nd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, it's Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Mariota.
That's going to be caught by Pitts.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
One of the most hyped, talked about prospects that enter the league at tight end. Kyle Pitts certainly delivered and probably exceeded expectations as a rookie. Hit 1,000 yards and ranked 3rd among tight ends and 2nd among all rookies in receiving. Sky, absolutely the limit for this young man. A nice pickup there for a first down.
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On second down, a run with Patterson.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time, but lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will stay a 4-point game.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. Off the play fake, Winston. Sliding out of the pocket.
That pass complete to Deontay Hardy.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Winston. Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
And the Saints are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Jarvis Landry from 4 yards out. And the Saints have taken the lead.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it's Jarvis Landry who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Atlanta regains possession of the football.
Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing is Mariota.
Crossing route and complete. He's got Pitts.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
35 yards the gain there. Another 1st down as well.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Falcons will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Coup for the extra point.
And that makes it 14-10. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown catch from Drake London. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Winston. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On 1st and 10, Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
To the air again with Winston. Buying time to his left. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin 2022 up in the Tar Heel State. Cleveland paying the opening day visit to Carolina.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Fielded just outside the goal line. Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll go again with Patterson. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
On second down and 4, Mariota. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. He's got his tight end pitch complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 37. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Back to the ground now. Patterson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 12-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Patterson running between the tackles. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Cordero Patterson. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So that challenge, a successful one. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Marcus Mariota with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Winston, that's out to Hill, right side complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here comes the Saints punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A first down throw for Mariota. Into the hands of London. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Got his man, it's London.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Patterson. Going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Falcons are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
Eluding the pressure right. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's Eric Harris who picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Running left, here's Patterson.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Not only was it a double move route, it was a dreaded post corner for any defensive back because you think that he's going all the way to the post in a deep route, and then he breaks it off to the corner. That's hard to flip your hips and get there.
Well, he didn't flip them in time. Big play.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A handoff for Patterson.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Again, Patterson.
And he's brought down.
105 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
They'll run with Patterson.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25.
The touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Atlanta, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0.